going to review a deadlift variation or a hip hinging variation where we think of it as a split stance or a B stance. A traditional deadlift is done kind of with a bilateral symmetrical stance, feet underneath our hips, hinging from our hips. That's a great movement option to lift heavy weights. In real life, there's lots of things that we have to pick up that we're not able to get directly underneath our center of mass. And so we have to get that hip hinging motion efficient with our feet in different positions. And if we're lacking hip mobility, sometimes it's easier to split our stance to get lower to the ground to pick something up, versus if we're a little tighter in the hips with both legs, that might restrict our motion. So this split stance deadlift, the framework is the same. We're going to try to stabilize our spine, create productive stiffness through our core, but like we said, instead of using my feet symmetrically underneath me, I'm going to have one leg forward and one leg back. I like the preference of having a lot of weight forward on our front leg. So my trail leg is there for balance, but in this position, I feel like I don't have a lot of weight back. That tends to irritate people's trail knee. I still want to feel athletic down here. In fact, I almost feel like I can jump out of this position. So as I hinge from my hips, we'll still create a little bit of external rotation from our hips. I feel all my weight is sitting, in this case, my left hamstring and glute. As I extend my thigh, again, with most of my weight on my front leg, and then to bring the weight back down, again, I'm going to hinge from my hip, feel as though I load weight into my hamstring and my glute as I bring the weight back down. Practicing it both sides, even at different angles. Again, as long as we can feel that weight shift into our hamstring and our hip with a neutral spine, it's going to increase the movement options you have in terms of picking things up in real life, while being able to use less load to challenge our hamstrings and our hips so we don't have to put as much spinal compression.